I wanted to talk to you today about maintenance and keeping your truck running and looking. It doesn't have to look good, because I could care less about the outside of my truck being clean, but it's a requirement that my company has, that when we leave the terminals, if they have a wash bay, we go get it washed. But I keep the inside spotless, but I could care less about the outside. But however, some companies require you to go get your oil changed at 25,000 miles, I think. Some require it at 30,000 miles, and some require it at 40,000 miles. It is up to you to get that oil changed in a timely fashion. And I correspond with Freightliner or read the book on when the maintenance, the PMs are supposed to be done. Preventative maintenance is supposed to be done. I think Love's has a great thing going. They have tire check, and I go to the Love's, and sometimes, and I'll pay the $5 for them to check my tires and inflate them. They inflate them all at the same time, and they put them to the PSI that I wanted at. I know that some of the trucks have PSI 110 on there, or 100 to 110. I tell them to inflate my tires to 105. That just keeps me in between range, and not too low and not too high. So I think that's a good thing. You know, if you go to Love's a lot, it will do you good to get in that first lane and fuel. I generally don't fuel at Love's because it costs too much. You know, sometimes that's the only thing around and you can get it, but I do it at least twice a month. Get my tires checked. And but the maintenance, I continuously check my oil. When I do my pre-trip, I check my oil, I check my fuel filter, I check my belts, antifreeze, and I keep an extra bottle of oil in my truck and antifreeze just in case. I also keep some window washing fluid, Rain-X. I said I was gonna go and buy a cipher just in case I'm somewhere and they can't get to me. I used to keep a can of fuel on my catwalk, but somebody stole it. So I don't do that anymore, because that's a waste of money and time, and continuously watching it and making sure it doesn't spill over or whatever the case may be. But maintenance is a big thing for your truck, especially if you're a lease operator. I know there's a lot of people that are company and they don't take care of their vehicles, and so sometimes these vehicles are sold to lease operators, and you don't know how the person before you had the truck kept the truck, whether they got the regular maintenance or they went over a little bit, or they went over a lot before they got an oil change, and oil and filter changes. You don't know if they had a wheel seal hub leak and let it go on for a while. You don't know what this person did to this truck. So if you get in a program where you have a walkaway lease, it does you good if you were to lease a truck that has little or no miles on it. That way you know how the truck is going to run. You know who took care of it. You know the history of the truck. And I'm going to say this also. Please, 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 if you're in a lease operator program and you're having cents per mile being put to the side for your maintenance account, please keep track of it. I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me. Me and a student were out. We went to Cargill. This was a couple years ago. We went to a Cargill and we went and picked up a load. Well, he's checking the tires on the trailer, and the trailer's tires were flat. It was actually two of them. Well, we called Road Breakdown. Road Breakdown sent someone out. They brought the 2 tires, and now the tires are the responsibility of the companies. It's not my responsibility. I'm the lease operator. I'm responsible for the tires on the truck. Well, on my next paycheck, there was $734 taken out of my maintenance account for those tires. So I called them and asked them what was that about and why did it come out of my account. And they explained to me that I bought some tires. I said, no, I didn't buy anything, and please return my money. I got a receipt. It was a roadside call, and it was that the tires were flat on the trailer. It took a little investigation for them, but they did return my money. Not on the following paycheck, but the paycheck after that. They did return my money. But had I not been aware of anything taken out of my maintenance, that would have been $734 good to the game. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that don't go over their paychecks, pay stubs, settlements, whatever you want to call it, like I do. Because sometimes I will have forgotten to do a reefer fuel receipt. With my company, I have to, yes, they know I bought the reefer, but I still have to send like a macro saying that I got the reefer and where it was, how many gallons, and how much was paid for it. I don't understand why, but they know I did it, but I still got to do it. So anyhow, I have to report my reefer fuel. So I have to I go back and I look over my settlement statements and make sure that they didn't come back and get me for something, because if they did, then I can go ahead and say, well, I can rescan my paperwork and I can redo the macro, and that way I still keep my money or get my money back, because sometimes they've already taken it back. So you want to go over your settlements and you want to make sure that everything was done correctly. But back to the maintenance, you want to make sure that your tires, I had a couple of them that were wearing a little faster than the other ones. So I went and got a 3-axle alignment. I didn't want to go to the suggested place, but you know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, because they're offering us, because we're employees, the best rate. So I went and got the 3-axle alignment so that my tires will wear a little bit better, because I have two new tires on the front of my truck, and my other tires I've had since I got the truck, which was in January 2015. So preventative maintenance will help you a lot. I also got some of them rotated because it's cheaper to do it that way now than to let one pop and or wear, and it cost me a little bit more to get it replaced sooner. So just be aware of what you need to take care of and how you need to take care of it when it comes to maintaining and keeping your truck running. I know that there's a lot of people who don't care either way, and they just treat the equipment very, very bad, and I'm not one of those people. So yes, my truck might look dirty, but if you open up the door, you can eat off the floor. And yes, you can I've got my maintenance receipts, and I keep my truck running as smoothly as possible, and that keeps money in my pocket. As long as I can keep my wheels turning, that keeps money in my pocket, and it makes me a happy truck driver. So those are little tips that I thought I would share with you, and I also want to talk about keeping